If there was anything that you wish that never came back or went back to normal after this long,
Ooh.
tough process, what would you pick? What would you say? Like,
You know what? I've gotten to spend a lot of time with my dog, and I'm gonna miss him when we go back on tour. I wish. That's it. That's it. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy for things to return to normal. To be honest,
how old is Woody?
he's 7 months, 8 months now. 8 months old. Yeah. Oh, I love
So he's
him.
a pandemic child.
He's a pandemic child. Where is he? He's not. Oh, he's gone. He's gone
Is
out.
that okay?
He does his own thing most of the time.
I saw him dressed for Dress Your Pet Day with the ukulele.
Oh
That was pretty
yeah.
cool.
Actually, my mum sent me that costume. I didn't realize. I didn't know. I just came in the mail, and I didn't know where it came from. I was like, "Who has my address?" Um, and then I dressed him up in the costume, took the photo for Just at Your Pet Day, and then the next day, my mum was like, "Oh, so you got the costume?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was you."
How you doing, Dave?
Yo, yeah, really good. Thanks. How you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Hanging in there. So I heard Reading and Leeds is off to a new start in August. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's wicked. That's the first festival I ever went to, and it's actually where I met our drummer Joe. We met at Reading Festival.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we went
Wow.
to see a band called Block Party. Do you remember them? I
Of
love
course.
that band so much. And yeah, they were like our childhood heroes.
What did you like about Block Party so much? I was listening to Intimacy this weekend, by the
Oh,
way.
really?
It's so
Wow.
coincidental. Yeah.
I mean, I love the music. I loved who they were, and I love the fact that he wasn't afraid to broach quite intimate topics as a lyricist and a songwriter.
Let's talk about the new album. Congratulations on a beautiful record. It's amazing what you guys have done in spite of everything, the lockdowns. I don't know if it's in spite of or thanks to. You tell me.
I don't know. Like it's made us do things a bit differently. We don't have touring, obviously, so we've had to be really creative in releasing the record and like find new ways to create that like interaction with fans because you're not going out and seeing them physically. So I don't know. We've been hopping on Zoom with everybody. We've been releasing songs in interesting, unlike online parties. We've been playing video games with people. We've been putting all the stems of the songs out for people to remix and make stuff with. Just finding new ways of doing that. And then I don't know, maybe we're a bit lucky because this album's quite personal and nostalgic, and it's about memory and about the past, and it's about missing people. And I wrote it at a time in my life a couple of years ago where I was feeling all of those things. And now in the pandemic, everyone's feeling that kind of way. Everyone's locked at home and thinking about the past and memories. And so I don't know, it just kind of fit.
You kind of anticipated the whole thing then.
It was just happenstance. The stars kind of, not the stars aligned. That makes it sound very positive, like the pandemic's like a good thing. But it's there's just a lot of weird like synchronicity between the two.
When you start adapting to the new normal, what are the very first things that come to your mind or pop in your mind in order to get the music out there and, get people engaged and involved, knowing that, as you said before, the concerts are gone, the festivals are gone and all that stuff. And, how to be a human being was like so experiential in that sense,
Yeah, that second album we did was very much meant to be like a live album, and this album was also meant to be experienced live. We had a huge live plan. It had a huge live show, and it was going to be like quite theatrical and really different. And so we were so excited. So when it was all cancelled, I was totally gutted, to be honest. And then after about a week of being really bummed out, I just realized, look, this is actually quite exciting. No one's really done this before. There are no rules. We can just experiment. So we experimented. I made a music video in my living room all by myself. It was so weird. And then I made another music video where like I walked down the street outside my house and all my neighbors filmed it out there with their phones. And like, I don't know, we adapted.
How long did that video take to do? Like I was watching it and it was really exciting to see all all the little heads popping out of the windows and filming and the whole thing. But the entire process seems so organic and so one take kind of video. What was that like?
It was actually pretty straightforward. I just put loads of pieces of, about a week before the video, I put loads of pieces of paper through everyone's mailboxes, just said, look, I'm going to be outside at 7 o'clock on Wednesday next week. Just, can you film me? I'm going to be the one with a wheelbarrow full of televisions. Just film it on your phone and upload it to your Dropbox, please. I beg you. And I think everyone was just bored, so they did it. I was surprised that many people did it. Everyone started leaning out of their windows and talking and shouting at each other, and it just felt, I don't know, it felt like a community again. It was so exciting. It was so lovely. It felt like that sense of togetherness you get at a concert, even though everyone was stuck in their respective windows. It was really, really nice. And then I just walked up the street twice singing the song. That was it. It was that simple.
Simple is beautiful. You know, it's great because it conjures, it just, you know, it brings about a certain sense of awe that's really hard to grab, especially in this era of audiovisual. You know, it's great. I thought it was beautiful, man. Listen, I wanted to ask you about personal experiences, forging and creating the context within this new album. And if there was one personal experience that you had to choose that motivated this body of work, which one would you say to Colombian audiences that personal experience was?
It's a tough one. There's been a lot of, like, they're all different stories on the album. But there was one experience that I didn't really talk about on the album, but kind of initiated the whole process. And it was our drummer had a really terrible accident, basically.
I remember that.
Terrible accident. And we didn't know if he was going to survive. And I was just in the hospital with him waiting for news. Saying all that, he's made an amazing recovery. He's like better than before. He's doing super well. I just saw him. He rode by on his bicycle, actually. So he's doing absolutely fine. He's back on the drums. He's playing shows again. It's great. But waiting in the hospital, that's the kind of thing the future looked so bleak in that moment. We had to cancel all of our touring. We weren't able to, I wasn't able to go out and like party with friends. I wasn't speaking to anybody. I was just sitting in the hospital waiting for news, kind of locked down. And that was the thing that's just started all these memories. Your head goes deep into memories. And I think that was the one thing that really kicked off this record.
Were there any new instruments that you tried on this new album?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, a lot of the sounds, because it's about memories, all the sounds on the album are things from the past, things that I grew up with. And so, like, if I was writing a song about when I was 7, I was trying to think about what I was listening to when I was 7, and I'd use those sounds. That would, like, when I was 7, I was listening to my mum's record collection, which was the Beach Boys. So I used a Mellotron. I have a Mellotron right here, and I was listening to the Beatles. So I got a Beatles bass, which I have over here. And I was using a lot of, instruments that made the sounds of my youth. And then I got into Dr. Dre after that when I was like 12, 13. So all the songs about when I was 12 or 13, I was using all these old sampling computers and stuff that, this keyboard here, this stuff that Dr. Dre and Timbaland and people used.
Wow. What kind of Dr. Dre did you convey or did you bring back? What were you listening to when you were 12? The Chronic?
I was listening to The Chronic, and I have to say I didn't understand the lyrics at that age. The lyrics are pretty... they're not exactly friendly, I'd say.
They're not, no.
But I liked the way that the bass and the drums made me feel as a kid. That's why. And same with like Eminem or something, like you really respect the way he performs and his sense of timing and his rhythm and the production behind him. But I didn't understand what he was saying when I was 12. I didn't really care. I just liked the feel.
You worked with Denzel Curry, who had a brilliant album last year. What was it like?
Amazing, yeah. I've been a huge fan of Denzel for a long, long time. So it was a real treat for me. He's an absolute pro. I sent the beat over and, I tried to send the beat over for like a month. I was like, on Instagram, I was like, Marin, please, come on, listen to this. And then I sent it to him on Twitter, then on like everything, Facebook, the whole lot. Then I realized, my friend told me that he doesn't actually even touch social media. And I was like, oh, well, this is totally pointless. And my friend gave me his number and I sent it. And then he's like 2 days later, bam, I got a vocal from him and it was perfect. It was great.
It's a banger, man. That one is like, that one stands out. You know, like the entire album is beautiful. But when you get to the Denzel Curry track, it's like, you know, it's like an explosion of stuff.
I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it is an explosion. And I wasn't totally sure because it was actually kind of done in the period before the album making process. So I didn't know if it really fit, but then I realized that I think it has a little bit of that Dr. Dre thing. And I tweaked a couple of things and tried to pull it into the world of the album a bit.
I read in the press release something about building an open source website. Can you tell me more about that experience?
Yeah, it was one of those things that we did to kind of combat the issue of not having touring. The main thing about touring is having this like back and forth with your people, with the people who listen to your music, and it's your chance to kind of listen to them when you're on tour and to speak to them and hang out. And I guess the open source website was our way of, like, in the same way that in a live show, you know, you give some music to people and then they give something back. It was our chance to give the music to people in a slightly different way. We gave them all the stems and the parts of the songs and all the pieces of artwork that we used for the album in its rawest formats, all the Photoshop files and all sorts of sound samples that people can use. And then we just waited to see what came back from everybody. And we've gotten so many amazing remixes, so many amazing pieces of art. People have sent poetry books. Someone made a guitar pedal. Oh, it's amazing.
That interaction is incredible. Yes, definitely. I loved the ending of the video. It was desolate and nostalgic, and it was filled with melancholy. You know, you standing in the stage on your own with the empty theater was like, it was pretty heartfelt.
Yeah, that was, I think, after walking down the street of people and having that sense of community, and then going into an empty venue that was like all dusty, and I knew no one was going to be in it for a very long time. It made it, yeah, it was really sad. It was really sad.
If there was anything that you wish that never came back or went back to normal after this long, tough process, what would you pick? What would you say? Like,
you know what? I've gotten to spend a lot of time with my dog. And I'm gonna miss him when we go back on tour. I wish. That's it. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy for things to return to normal, to be honest.
How old is Woody?
He's 7 months, 8 months now. 8 months old. Yeah. Oh, I love
so
him.
He's a pandemic child.
He's a pandemic child. Where is he? He's not. Oh, he's gone. He's gone out.
Okay.
He does his own thing most of the time.
I saw him dressed for Dress Your Pet Day with the ukulele.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
pretty cool.
Actually, my mum sent me that costume. I didn't know. It just came in the mail and I didn't know where it came from. I was like, who has my address? And then I dressed him up in the costume, took the photo for Just at Your Pet Day, and then the next day my mum was like, oh, so you got the costume? And I was like, yeah, it was you.
Listen, it's been great catching up. Thank you very much for taking the time. Thank you for a beautiful body of work. It's great. We're enjoying it a lot. We're playing it a lot on the radio here in Colombia.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much.
I thank you so much for the music, and everybody in the station and everybody in Colombia thanks you. And we look forward to seeing you perform this beautiful album live soon here in Colombia, South America, man.
Absolutely can't wait. Thank you so much to everyone in Colombia. It's
Dave,
one of our favorite places in the world.
Take good care. It's been great.
Cheers, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.